When removing the door panel, begin by placing the window in the lowest position it will go, green arrow. There are two trim pieces you will need to remove before removing the panel. One is the window trim piece where it meets the door panel, red arrow, and the other is the triangular speaker cover by the A pillar, yellow arrow. There is a fastener under the window trim piece that you will need access to. Use a trim removal tool and separate the trim piece from the weather stripping on the outside of the door frame, red arrow. With the trim piece out of the weather strip channel, use your trim removal tool and separate the piece, red arrow, from the door frame. You can now access the fastener, yellow arrow. This fastener has varied over the years from a clip to a T30 Torx screw. Next, remove the triangular cover by prying it out from the area around the mirror. If yours has been removed before, you can probably do this with your hands. If not, use a trim removal tool, red arrow. With the section around the mirror loose, push the piece forward, red arrow, and out from the door. The piece can just hang by the small speaker wire or you can disconnect it. Use a T30 Torx and remove the 3 T30 Torx bolts, one under the trim piece you removed and the two below the armrest, red arrows. There are 9 clips, red arrows, that hold the door panel in place. Some of these clips might break or stay in the door when you are removing the panel. You want to use the door panel trim removal tool and get it as close to the clips as possible. Prying them out will take a surprising amount of force. You want to avoid having the plastic section of the panel that holds the clips break. Also, you do not want to pull on the panel with your hands as you risk bending or damaging the panel itself. This photo shows the approximate location of the clips and where you want to insert the tool. Make sure the tool is seated around the clip before you pry on it. With all the clips free, you want to lift the panel up and out of the channel on the top of the door, red arrow. The door lock pull will stay on the door, so you have to lift the panel over it. Tilt the panel towards yourself and slide the door pull cable, red arrow, out from the support in the door panel, yellow arrow. Unhook the bowden cable from the handle, green arrow. The panel will still be connected to the door by the electrical connections. On our vehicle, we unplug the two connections by pressing in the tabs and separating them, red arrows. The door panel is now free and can be safely removed. If you are lying it down to work on it, make sure to put something down first to avoid damaging the interior trim. This photo shows the location of the clips, yellow arrows. You can see how 2 of them, red arrows, stayed in the door frame when we removed the panel. If the clips have not broken, you can just pry them out of the door and reinsert them into the panel. It is a good idea to order a few spare clips before you begin working in case you damage a few. You will not be hung up on reassembly waiting for new clips to arrive. You now have access to the door component carrier. The window motor is mounted to the door carrier, red arrow. Begin by pressing in the tab on the bottom of the wiring connection, red arrow, and separating the connection from the motor. Next, use a T25 Torx and remove the 3 screws that hold the motor, red arrow, to the door component carrier. Wiggle and pull the motor off the carrier. The splines on the motor, red arrow, will line up and sit inside the gearing on the regulator, yellow arrow, when installing the new motor. The motor works off a Hall sensor signal to determine when it is fully open and closed, so do not forget to reset the normalization of the window after installing. Installation of the rest of the components is the reverse of removal. Thanks for watching. Click here to view the original article along with hundreds of other DIY content for your car.